WWE WrestleMania Night 1, let's talk about it. So, overall, I thought that Night 1 was all right. I wasn't crazy about it. I wanted more, but it felt like an episode of Raw or SmackDown at WrestleMania, just with how a lot of the matches were just really short and just how like the finishes just happened like out of nowhere. It was like as if they were short on time, and when like I this is how I feel like when people or like the fans were getting into the matches, and then when the fans were getting into the matches or the audience, that's when the matches would just suddenly end. So that's what I didn't like about it, and I believe I did the math like 2 weeks ago. I believe the first night, night one of WrestleMania, I think it was like the total time was like 1 hour and 20 minutes, but I think the entire show was on for like maybe 3 hours, 3 hours and 30 minutes, or maybe was it 4 hours? I'm not sure. But so that's why I wasn't crazy about that. It was just too many commercials, too much downtime, and the fact that we only got 1 hour and 20 minutes of in ring content or just in ring action. To me, that's just kind of ridiculous. And the thing about the matches being short, like some of the matches, every match does not have to, it doesn't have to be a 20-minute match. But the fact is, with this show or just with WrestleMania, some of the matches ended just out of nowhere. It was just too short, and some of them, like we have all this build up, and nothing happened. So the first match, it was a tag team match. Well, it was a 6-man tag team match. The Usos and LA Knight versus the Vision and Show Speed. This match went for 7 minutes and 8 seconds. I thought that maybe this match should have gone for maybe 10 minutes or something like that, 12 minutes. The LA Knight, he hit his finisher on Austin Theory, and the LA Knight, his team won. So I thought that was fine. Then we had the aftermath where Show Speed, pretty much he turned on the bad guys, on the Vision. So I thought that was all right. Show Speed, I think he's funny, and I think he's really talented. I really like his facial expressions. He is funny. Now this match right here, the next match, it was Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. I was really getting into this match. The thing is, the finish of this match, what I didn't understand was what's his name? Jacob Fatu went through the table. I think Drew McIntyre, there was a table that was set up outside of the ring. Drew McIntyre pushed him. When Jacob Fatu was on the turnbuckle, he pushed him. He went through the table. And then after that, like that's when the fans were getting really into it. And then Jacob Fatu, like after, I don't know, it was like maybe a few seconds, not quite sure, maybe 30 seconds or even shorter than that. Jacob Fatu gets up. He beats up Drew McIntyre. I believe he did his finisher, put Drew McIntyre on the table and hit the moonsault, and that was the match. And you're thinking that this is supposed to be an unsanctioned match, that we're supposed to, get kind of crazy and all that. It was just pretty much like a safe, hardcore match. So I wasn't really crazy about that. I feel like the guys should have really. I felt like the match should have gotten like a little more chaotic, and maybe this match should have gone for maybe 18 minutes, 20 minutes, because of just the build up. All right, so this next match right here, I didn't really care for this match, but I did enjoy because Paige returned, and it was a happy moment. So it was a fatal 4-way match. This went for 8 minutes and 33 seconds. Brie Bella and Paige versus Nia Jax in Legend versus Flair in Alexa Bliss versus Bayley in Lyra. So I thought, for what this match was, I thought it was all right. Paige and Bree, they won the match, and they are the new women's tag team champions. So, that was pretty cool. That was a cool moment. This next match right here, Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee. This was for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. This match went for 8 minutes and 15 seconds. This was a horrible match. I was not, maybe I shouldn't say horrible, but I was just not a fan of it. I think with AJ Lee, she is not good. I think maybe because she's been out of wrestling for some time. I mean, I know she's had a few matches since she's returned, but she just didn't look good in this match to me. I think AJ had her best match when she wrestled Bailey. It was on an episode of Monday Night Raw. I believe that was whatever. I think that was it this month, or maybe it was whatever. It was like a few weeks ago. So that was AJ Lee's best match, because she had Bailey, who was just one of the best, and Bailey is just a really great worker as well. All right, so this match right here, Gunther versus Rollins. This match went for 17 minutes and 52 seconds. This was a really good match. The guys went at it. Just it was a competitive match, some back and forth action. I believe Rollins, he dominated for like the first few minutes, I think. And then Gunther made his comeback, and the guys just really went at it. And then, of course, Gunther was dominating. And then we got the whole, interference, from the Vision. Braun Breaker made his return. And Gunther put Rollins in a submission, and Rollins went to sleep. So I thought that was really good. Right. All right. So Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer. This was for the Women's World Championship. This match went for 6 minutes and 51 seconds. And it seemed like we were getting somewhere. And then, we get the interference from the Judgment Day. And then after that, Stephanie she beat up the Judgment Day. And then they interfered again. And then Liv Morgan took advantage, and she won the match. I thought that we were going to get more out of this match. I know that Liv Morgan was injured, from that backstage segment where where Stephanie, pretty much slammed Liv into Roxanne. So yeah. And then I heard that also, this just came out this week, that Stephanie has been I guess she's having issues with her arm, so she's probably done with an injury. So it seems like maybe that's why the match didn't go for, that's why it only went for 6 minutes and 51 seconds. But yeah, I thought there was going to be more to this match. But if they were, like still, injured and going through stuff, I understand. But the match that Liv Morgan had on Monday Night Raw was that 2 weeks ago? I think, yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. The match that she had with Solo, what's her name? Sol Ruka. That was a good match. That match should have been at WrestleMania. That was just a really good match. All right, and then the main event, it was for the undisputed WWE Championship. This match went for 22 minutes and 44 seconds. Cody versus Randy. You know what? I enjoyed this match. I feel like it wasn't a bad match. The only thing is that, Cody was just pretty much dominating and just destroying Randy. I wanted this match because of the build up. I wanted it to be more of a back and forth kind of match, both guys trying to take each other out. That's what I wanted to see. It was more so Randy Orton was getting beat up. It was as if that they switched roles, as just thinking that, Cody was playing the bad guy in a way, how he was wrestling, and Orton was playing the baby face. That's what it seemed like, at certain points in this match or in that match. But we got the, what's his name? I can't even think of the guy's name. Pat McAfee, he came out and all that nonsense. The referee got knocked out. Or Orton RKO'd the referee, and Orton, the whole thing was he was really selling his back. And Orton is a master at selling, and, to the point where you're like, okay, is this real? Is he really feeling this way? I'm pretty sure, when these guys take bumps, taking bumps on the ring, I mean, it does hurt. So it's just like, okay, is he exaggerating or is he really hurt? Because I was watching this, I'm like, he's doing a good job selling, and then I was like, I think he's really hurt, just how he was wrestling. But Cody ended up getting the win. I feel like it was the right call. I know a lot of people online, they were saying that Orton should have won, but I think this is how I'm thinking about this match. The way that Cody, like the build up to this match, how it just made Cody look weak. So I feel like Cody really needed to redeem himself. So his character. So he had to win this match. And I know there's like some stuff that came out last week or maybe even 2 weeks ago saying that the original plan was for Randy to win, but I feel like it was the right call by having Cody winning this match. And then after the match, Randy Orton, he kicked Cody in the face. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. But overall, with WrestleMania Night One, it wasn't a bad show, but just with these commercials, and I understand that not fans, I understand that they have sponsors. I get that. But when there's so much downtime and so many commercials in between matches, it takes me out as a fan. Like, I don't listen. Do get? I understand you got these deals and all that kind of stuff, but there needs to be a better flow. We shouldn't have to, after an hour and a half, we're only on the third match, and there's just so much downtime. And the fact that the first three matches, um, one match was 7 minutes and 8 seconds, the other one was 14 minutes and 9 seconds, and then the third one was 8 minutes and 33 seconds. It's just like it's just kind of ridiculous to me. Yeah, they need to do better. And having short matches, that is nothing new. They have had short matches before, and at WrestleMania and all that kind of stuff. But there's just a time and a place and how it's being executed. Please take care and have a good one.